Namaste, my dear friends. Namaste to all of you. Very, very good to see you all. And it's so nice to have you all, dear friends, on this wonderful day of January, the 5th of January, 2024. We start today with our first of hopefully many such interactions where we will share important topics of yoga in a heart-to-heart discussion. Again, if any of you have questions or comments, you're always welcome to ask it. Just raise your hand and in the Zoom app, and it will ask your. I will turn on your microphone, and you can always ask the question. So, welcome, friends, and let us begin today with our invocation chants. First, Om, Om, Om. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnan Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Yasya Dviradavaktradyah Parishadhyah Parashatam Vighnannignanti Satatam Vishwaksenantamashraye Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmala Spatikakritim Adharam Sarvavidyanam Hayagrevam Upasmahe Pundarikaasanasenam Pandurabhrendusannibham Akandabodhajanakam Hayagrevam Upasmahe Gurubhyastadgurubhyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vranimahe cha tatradyo Dampati Jagatam Pati Shrinagariyam Mahapuryam Tamraparnyuttare Tate Shritintrine Mooladhamne Shathakopaya Mangalam Jayatu Jayatu Natho Nyaya Tattva Pranitam Jayatu Jayatu Yogi Yoga Gokya Pravaktam Jayatu Jayatu Sakshat Tattvadarshi Maharshi Jayatu Jayatu Bhaktir Moolakandam Munindraha Swadhayanniha Sarvesham Trayantartham Sudurgraham Stotrayamasa Yogindra Tam Vande Yamunakvayam Yo Nityamachyutapadambuja Yugma Rukma Vyamohitastaditarani Trinaya Mene Asmadgurur Bhagavatasya Dayaika Sindho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadye Shriman Venkatanatharya Kavitarkika Kesari Vedantacharya Varyo me Sannidhattam Sada Hridi Shri Krishna Brahma Tandrottama Guru Karuna Vapta Chakranka Bhashyam Vairagyachara Vardhau Varada Padamukhe Lakshmane Nyasta Bharam Shri Vageshataturyam Shatha Repo Yatirat Veda Chodarya Murtim Notnam Shri Ranganatham Kaliripu Managam Brahmatantram Shrayamaha श्रीमन्नूतनरङ्गनाथयतिराडाप्तात्मविद्यालयम् श्रीमन्नूतनलक्ष्मणार्ययतिराट् सम्प्राप्ततुर्याश्रमम् श्रीवासेन्द्रकटाक्षसन्ततसुधा लक्ष्यात्मयोगाश्चितम् श्रीमन्नूतनवागधीशयमिनं भक्त्याश्रयामो गुरुम् श्रीकृष्णवागीशयतीश्वराभ्यां सम्प्राप्तचक्राङ्कणभाष्यसारम् श्रीनूत्नरङ्गेन्द्रयतौ समर्पितस्वं श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीडे विरोधे कार्तिके मासे शतताराकृतोदयम् योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमहं भजे शिष्यकं कृष्णमार्यस्य नाथवंशप्रदीपकं कल्याणगुणरूपन्तं श्रीदेशिकं नमाम्यहम् प्रशान्तपुरुषाकारं विनियोगप्रचारकं विशेषवैदिकं सूरिं तन्देशिकं स्मराम्यहम् लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः यस्त्यक्त्वा रूपमाद्यं प्रभवति जगतोऽनेकधानुग्रहाय प्रक्षीणक्लेशराशिर्विषमविषधरोऽनेकवक्त्रः सुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपरिकरप्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हीशः स वो व्यात् सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः पातञ्जलमहाभाष्यचरकप्रतिसंस्कृतैः मनोवाक्कायदोषाणां हर्त्रे आह्यपतये नमः भाष्यकृत्सूत्रकृच्चापि निर्मलन्तं स्वरूपिणं ध्यातारं श्रीपतेर्नित्यं पतञ्जलिं नमाम्यहम् ॐ मणिभ्राजत्फणासहस्रविधृतविश्वम्भरामण्डलाय अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः ॐ शान्त शान्त शान्तिः Namaste, my dear friends. Namaste and welcome to 2024. It's already started in a very interesting way this year. So I don't want to say if it's all very good, but I don't want to say it's all very bad. But what I felt that is very important this year is um, in this kind of difficult moments, what we need to build is community. I think one of the things that um, we will realize more and more as um, this life goes on is that with all this technological medium, the negative side of it is that we lose this concept of community. We lose interaction with people, and people feel very isolated and not really connected. So, on one way, even though we are using the same media, we are trying to use it for the opposite purpose, which is to bring together all of us from different parts of the world and hopefully talk about some important topics that will resonate well in our heart. And it is certainly very, very relevant, especially in these modern times of turbulences, where every day we have some new news of one conflict or another somewhere in this world, which we, in the old days, we may think would not necessarily affect us because we are very far away. But in today's times, we are all so globally connected, interconnected in so many ways with our business, with our supply chains. I mean, things like food and things like electricity and everything is all coming from far away places. And we are all very, very connected. I'm using a laptop computer, but which is one unit, but I'm sure the parts are coming from at least 20 different countries or maybe more. So I'm sure the keyboard comes from somewhere, the screen comes from somewhere else, and the chip comes from somewhere else, and software comes from somewhere else, and everything is. So it's not in the old days where if one part of the world was affected, we were kind of insulated to some a great degree from that conflict. So in a certain way today, um, somebody's conflict is actually everybody's conflict. And that's why we very much need to come together as a community and focus on how we can be close to each other, close to like-minded people. And this is why we start this year with this project that uh, I want to call it Viniyoga Unplugged, even though we are plugged into the Zoom meeting. Um, it's a subtle meaning that also means that it's a casual conversation. It's nothing serious. I'm here not to talk down to you, but rather talk with you. And so, if any of you at any point of time would like to share a question or two, I would welcome you to do that. Even if you want to share a response, I would welcome you to do that. There's only a few things that I don't want you to do. One is to convert this forum into a political forum. I want to keep this as a spiritual forum, so I don't want to talk about politics. And of course, I don't want you to use any inappropriate language or even words that will harm or hurt other people. And this is what I would like to uh, keep. And I want to keep this open and have this discussion with all of you. And what I thought we will choose to start this year is actually the four bhavanas that Patanjali talks about in the first chapter, and slowly move on to other concepts like the yamas and niyamas, because those are critical platforms on which all the other tools of yoga and other things work. Because if we don't have these platform of fundamental values, then it certainly makes no sense if we do asana or pranayama or mantra. It certainly has no value at all. So that's why I wanted to talk about MAITRÍ. And also because, as I said, I want to help build a community of like-minded people who are not just this is open to everybody. So it's not only open to people who are part of the Viniyoga tradition. Anybody can join these online events, which we will do every month. So you may share with all of your friends if you want from the next month onwards, or even now, that we come together as a community and be as a global friends. And this is where Patanjali is talking about this beautiful topic, MAITRÍ, this concept of friendliness. In the Yoga Sutra, first chapter, as well as in the third chapter, this topic has been dealt with by Patanjali. And in the first chapter, it comes in the verse 133, in the Sutra 133. Maitri Karuna Muditopekshana Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayana Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadanam. This sutra is very often referred to as the Sutra of the Satpatra Viniyoga, which means to have the right attitude towards the right context. So when you look at these four attitudes that Patanjali is talking about, Maitri, friendliness, Karuna, compassion, Mudita, appreciation, and Upeksha, an attitude of neutrality, which means non-judgmentalism. Patanjali is asking us to kind of do it, to have the right attitude in the right um, context. We cannot be everybody's friend. This is something which I think we cannot expect. If somebody comes to harm us, we cannot, of course, be their friend. If somebody is stealing our property or land, we are not, of course, going to be their friends. So we can't have that friendly attitude towards everybody. So Patanjali is talking about contextualization. And so this first attribute is called Maitri, which is basically for what is called friendliness. The word Maitri comes from the derivation Mida Snehane. Mida Snehane. Sneha in Sanskrit and many Indian languages also means a friend, but it comes from the derivation Snigdha Bhava, that means to be sticky. Now, that is what is a true friend. A friend is someone who sticks with you no matter what happens. When it's good times, the friend is with you. When it's bad times, the friend is with you. It's not seasonal. Friendship is not seasonal, saying, well, if you agree with me, I will be your friend. If you don't agree with me, I will not be your friend. Or I'll be your friend when it's convenient for me. I will not be your friend when it's not convenient for me. This is not really what is called friendliness. It is not what is called friendliness. Friendliness is, yeah, the concept of staying together. Like in the Mahabharata, we have the great example of Duryodhana and Karna. They are considered to be the epitome of friendship. No matter whether Duryodhana is doing good or bad, Karna remains his friend. Karna dies for his friend. So that's what is a true friend. It is called Mitra, coming from the root Mida Snehane. But what Patanjali is asking us to do is to execute this concept of friendliness with caution. Sukha Vishayanam Maitri Bhavaha. When direct the Maitri attitude to all those who are in Sukha. Sukha means in a comfortable place, in a convenient place, in a happy place. Now, when someone is happy, don't be jealous of them. Be happy for them. Be happy with them. Don't secretly feel resentful like, oh, why did he succeed and why not me? Be friendly. And it's a very simple thing to do, because friendliness is as simple as giving a smile. That's all. It's as simple as just smiling at somebody. And that's why this is very important bhavana. And there is another derivation for this Maitri. Sarva bhuteshu medyati iti Maitri. Towards all beings, being friendly, being amicable, that is what is called friendliness. And this is very important because you don't qualify this friendliness to only a few people. Only a few people. You direct it to all beings. No. And the way to be friendly may differ from a person to person or a being to being. Like I'm every day in the morning, I am walking uh, near my neighborhood, and I see people walking, and I see dogs walking. I see children with their parents walking, and everybody, each of them are happy with different things. A dog is happy just to run around. So, how do you be friendly with the dog? Maybe you cannot smile, but maybe you can just give it a gentle stroke and say hello to the dog. Maybe for a child, you smile at the child and you say hello. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean you have to go out of the way to do things. And I've been doing this experiment, social experiment on myself in the past day, in the past weeks I've been living here. Uh, I try to smile at everybody when I'm walking, and I see that less than 5% of the people smile back. Uh, Everybody is so serious and so disturbed. And I find it so strange because the place where I'm walking is a very beautiful place. It's very fresh air, clean air, and there's a lot of trees and there's a lot of birds and there is a lot of things that are very interesting to see, flowers and things like that. But still, people are so grumpy, and especially early in the morning, just about sunrise time, between 7 and 8 o'clock. So I did this experiment. I thought, okay, I will imitate their behavior for a few days. So I thought, I will not smile. I will just be as serious and grumpy as them and not look at them, just look somewhere else whenever people are passing by. And I did it for about 3, 4 days. And I have to tell you, I felt so bad. I felt negative. Those days, I realized that I was feeling very negative. I was feeling much more irritable. I was feeling much more angry. And then I said, okay, this is enough. And I changed my behavior to back to my normal self. When I would go, I would smile at everybody. Less than 5% smile back. And usually there are two categories of people who smile back. One is very old people, and one is very young children. And everybody in the middle, they are kind of the grumpy ones. And it doesn't matter for me, this 5% of this population, and the old man or women, they are finding it difficult to walk, but still they are walking, and I smile at them, and they are so happy. They smile back. And young children, young people who are less than 5, 6 years old, they're also smile back, say hello, and wave and things like that. Some brother and sister even started talking to me on the way when they were walking as well with their parents, and the parents were wondering what's going on. So Those days, even though only 5% of the people responded back, because my three bhava was exchanged, I feel extremely better. I didn't have that irritable attitude. I didn't have that grumpy attitude. I actually felt very good. And that is what we need, my dear friends. We don't need everybody to be friendly with us. We only need a little bit of effort, a little bit of response so that we gain something. And I've read some statistics recently about something unrelated to that, but I think it works well for this topic as well. They say that they've done some studies where they say if you exercise for 30 minutes, it keeps you in a good feeling for about 12 hours. So imagine you do your exercise in the morning for 30 minutes. The next 12 hours, you are feeling good. You need 3 months to learn a skill. But if you put that effort and learn that skill, though, for those 3 months, for the rest of your life, you have a skill. So sometimes all it needs only is a little effort for greater sustained benefit. And this is what I've realized works also for things like being friendly. We don't need a lot of friends. People collect Facebook friends. They have like 10,000, 20,000 friends. In Instagram, they're called influencers. They have like 1 million people following them. They get lots of money and lots of advertising and things like that. I, I don't belong in that category. I mean, if you look at our Zoom meeting today, we are today 72 participants, including me now. A few minutes ago, I saw it was 74, but that's it. It's not a lot of people, but I know that I know each and every one of you, and you know each and every one of you know me. And this is much more valuable than 5 million friends on Instagram, which I don't even know. And if they are even people, they could be robots just liking the post. So that's why when you are having this Maitri Bhavana, don't expect everybody to be your friend or everybody to be friendly with you. A small percentage is enough. A very small percentage. I'm telling you, less than 5%. I walk at a time where many people walk in that corridor. It's a very nice 2.5 kilometer stretch in one way. So I do up and down, which is about 5 kilometers. And I'm sure I see much more than 100 people, much more than 100 people in the morning. I mean, it's not all in the same place. It's a long, I walk for about an hour plus. So seeing about 100 plus people in that is not a crowded place at all, but still less than 5% respond. That's enough. That's enough. And that's why it's very important. And sometimes even your friendly attitude toward a dog or a cat will have great value. That's why sarva bhuteshu medyati iti maitri. A tree. Spend some time to appreciate a flower. Spend some time to appreciate the tree. That's enough. Just give it a little bit of water, a little bit of affection. That's enough. Rather than be an enemy, rather than just kick the tree, saying, I hate you, or, just being violent towards a tree or a plant, just be friendly. Just be friendly. It's very, very important to just cultivate this attitude. And this Maitri should not be faked. That's why in one of the texts called Yoga Vartika, Maitri is presented as Sauhardam. That means a comfortable feeling in your heart. Friendliness is not coming from the mind based on calculation. Oh, if I'm friends with this person, I will get this benefit and this benefit and that benefit and this benefit. It's not a calculation. It's a feeling from your heart. It's a feeling. It's a warm feeling, a comfortable feeling. Sauhardam. Sauhardam. Sau comes from the word su, which is almost like sukha, flowing and open. Hardam comes from the word hridaya. So sauhardam means a feeling of openness in your heart. And when you are really happy, you cannot fake it. And if you fake happiness, eventually you will get found out. You know, some people try to tell me that they have to fake it till you make it. You know, they have to fake it till you make it. But I think you can't fake friendliness. You have to feel that. You have to feel that. But this is something that we need today because we are looking at everybody as an enemy. A part of the problem I feel in today's world is we have become very polarized, where if we don't agree with somebody, we think they are our enemy. If you don't subscribe to my view, you're my enemy. It's my way, the right way, and otherwise it's the wrong way, and you are actually my enemy. And this, you can see that in so many places today, people become very, very, what do you call, violently fanatic. Violently fanatic. You have to take one side. What if you don't want to take one side? What if you don't believe in one side is right? What if you believe that both sides have a valid argument? You can't have one right, one wrong. Now, at if you look at Mahabharata, I told you about the epitome of friendship between Karna and Duryodhana. It's not that Karna and Duryodhana agreed on everything. Karna very often has a different opinion to Duryodhana. He knows that what Duryodhana is doing is not right, and he gives him that opinion. He says, hey, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is not right. But you're my friend, I will support you, but what you're doing is not right. So this is very important because disagreement should not be a sign of dislike or animosity. Two friends must be able to remain friends even if they have two different opinions, even if they have two different points of view. We cannot all agree on the same thing all the time. If there is two people, there will be differences somewhere. Imagine, my dear friends, if we are all the same, if we were all the same, we ate the same thing, we drank the same thing, we wore the same kind of clothes, we will all be robots. How boring life will be. How boring life will be if we all drove the same car, the same color of the car, the same thing. We will be nothing but machines. And there will be nothing called humanity, because humanity is about an individual human's nature. And therefore, there is bound to be differences if there are two people. Many of you are probably parents of multiple children. Maybe you have more than one child, the same father, same mother, but the children are not the same, they are different. You may have two cats from the same litter or five cats from the same litter, very different personality wise, size-wise, color-wise, behavior-wise, what they like, what they don't like-wise. This is normal. And therefore, disagreement should not be considered as a reason for conflict. We must accept that there will be differences, and that is why Maitri is a very, very important topic. Irrespective of differences, we must remain friendly. Irrespective of differences, we must have the ability to have friendliness towards those who are experiencing moments of happiness, because it's appropriate to a context. In a sad moment, when somebody is suffering, you need to show compassion. You can't be friendly. You can't say, I mean, when somebody is having grief, for example, when they've lost a family member, you can't say, hey, buddy, come on, let's go get a beer and celebrate. Let's have fun. That's not the right friendly attitude. Whereas if they won a lottery or they won a championship or whatever, then at that moment you can say, hey, come on, let's go get a drink and let's celebrate. That's an appropriate friendly behavior in the appropriate moment, sukha, in the context of sukha. Whereas if it's dukkha in another context, it should not be the same. So that's why the contextualization of the attitudes are very, very important. The contextualization of attitude is very, very important. And it's also another thing that Patanjali is presenting in the third chapter. I want to use Maitri Balesh, Maitri Adishu Baleshu Samyamat Balani. Maitri, friendliness, is a strength. The word used is bala. Just because you are friendly, it does not imply a weakness. It does not imply a weakness. Friendliness is a strength. If we think, oh, we are being friendly, somebody will take advantage of us, then that's not right attitude, because friendliness is a strength. We all need friends, my dear friends. We all need friends. We all, even in our example, in our mythology, and maybe in also other mythologies, we look at Ramayana, for example. Rama was God incarnate, but he needed friends to win the war. He could not win the war alone. He needed friends. Hanuman, Sugriva, all these people were his friends. They were supporting him in the war. Arjuna in the Mahabharata, he needed friends. He went to meet Krishna. Krishna was his friend. So we all need friends. Whether to win or to lose, we need friends. Life is a team event. Life is not an individual event. Life may be an individual experience, but it's not an individual event. Life is not an individual event. It's an individual experience. How I experience life is personal. But in my life, there are many, many people who are participating. For example, today, there's 73 of you in this moment. I have neighbors with whom I live. I have family with whom I have to live. I have my students. I have my friends. We experience life as not as an individual, but we live life through a community. And that is why Maitri Bhavana has to be cultivated. We cannot be without friends. And You cannot have friends unless you are friendly. Unless you are friendly. You cannot expect friendliness to be a one-way relationship. Hey, you have to be my friend, but I will not be your friend. No. Unless you are cultivating this towards others, others will not cultivate that towards you. Why should they do that? Why should they do that? And this is something also which is said many times in the Vedic teaching, including in Yoga Rahasya, this concept called the theory of karma. What you put out, that is what you will receive. So if you are friendly to others, you will gain friends. That's why Patanjali is reminding Maitri Samyamat, Maitri Bala Samyamat, Maitri Balam. You cultivate the strength of friendliness. That means sustain this friendliness attitude towards people. You will gain that from them. You will gain friends. May not be the same people, but somebody will help you. If I help you, you help me. That's not friendliness. That's a transaction. It's a contract. The way karma works is I help you, you help somebody else, they will help somebody else, they will help somebody else, and that person may help me. That's how it works. And this person who helps me does not know who I helped. And I've seen this innumerable times in my life. This is how it has worked. When I needed some help, somebody showed up, which is not even the person who I have helped. And therefore, it's not a contract. Somehow, God sent me some help through somebody at the moment I needed that. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And uh, we don't know how to control it. We cannot control it because God's ways are very, very mysterious. So you need to put out this attitude of Maitri without any expectation in return. Be friendly because you have to be friendly, you want to be friendly. You smile at them, it's not an effort at all. You say good morning, you say hello to somebody, it's not really an effort. You say congratulations to somebody, it's not an effort at all. That will be rewarded because the joy you will get when you have this Maitri Bhavana, even being friendly to people, you will feel happy. Like I said, when I did this experiment, I felt happy even though I smiled at everybody and I only got 5% smile back. It didn't matter because I was smiling at 100 of them. And when and that when you do that, your heart is open, your heart is more relaxed. So try this, my dear friends, try it. And this, I think, will be a simple enough practice for all of us to do. Treat yourself as a friend. Treat others as a friend. Look at animals and plants as your friends. There's a word in Ramayana of a great sage. And this sage is very, very important because he is the sage who initiated Rama into the Gayatri mantra. And that's why Gayatri mantra is very, very auspicious for us. It's not because it's the first ever mantra, but it's actually a mantra that Rama was initiated into. And when we are doing the Gayatri mantra, we are always honoring this sage. His name was originally Kaushika, but when he became the sage, he became to be called as Vishwamitra, which means the friend of the world. Vishwa means the whole universe. Mitra means a friend. So he became the friend of the world because he was helping, he was friendly towards everybody. That's why it was called Vishwamitra, the great sage, a contemporary of Vasishtha, and has a very important place in the Ramayana and a very important place in our Vedic culture because he is teaching Rama into the Gayatri mantra, which is considered one of the most important mantras for us. And this name always stuck with me since I first heard this name when I was a young boy. When we learn about Ramayana, the meaning is be a friend of the world. And that is should be our aspiration. You be friendly to the world. Don't not, and see the attitude that Patanjali is asking us to follow is friendliness. You may not want to call somebody your friend. It's a very strong word. I agree. I agree. And in some languages, it takes a long time. I know in some cultures. For many years ago, I was learning German for 1.5 years. And I heard that in the German language, there are two words. One is called Bekannter and one is called Freund. Freund is a friend, which is reserved for very few people. But Bekannter is an acquaintance. And sometimes you may be 20 years, you know somebody, but they are still a good acquaintance. They are not your friend. In India, it's the opposite. You drink one tea with somebody, they become your friend. We are like that. We give friendliness very easily. So it was a bit shocking for me, because in India, when we greet somebody itself, we are like, "Hey, friend, how are you?" And we don't. We drink a tea with somebody, we become their friend, and we share very personal details, no problem. But what I'm trying to say is, maybe you don't need to be a friend of everybody, but you can still be friendly to everybody. Because Patanjali is using the word Maitri, friendliness. Patanjali is not using the word Mitra, which is friend. So he's giving us another clue. Be friendly to all the people, all the beings in this world, especially in their happy moments. Especially in their happy moments. So this is what I want to share with you, a few random thoughts about friendliness, and we will see if there is any questions. One question has come, can you talk about an opinion without understanding the context and a judgment? Now, an opinion is, I mean, I'm not an expert in English, but I try to see what I understand. I feel an opinion concerns me, what I feel. A judgment is a judgment on somebody based on a behavior that is exhibited by that person, and uh, it's put on as if we are right. It's put on as if we are right, that we are judging somebody for their behavior. You can have an opinion about a judgment. And I think nowadays many people have judgments of people's opinions as well. This is also happening. But I'm not a language expert, but I really feel that an opinion is what we feel. It need not be a fact. And we must be very careful that when we cast judgment on people, we must do it only with fact and not with opinions. And in our Vedic culture, actually, Patanjali is asking us to practice non judgmentalism, because the only person who can cast judgment on somebody is a judge or divine. In Vedic culture, you and I, we cannot judge other people. It's a job of a judge or the divine to judge. You and I, we don't have that right to judge somebody else. We may have opinions about somebody, but that's not necessarily a fair judgment. So I don't know if this is helpful, but this is how I understand things. Perhaps I may have to reflect more on this topic to get more sophisticated understanding of this, but this is how I can respond at the moment. And that's certainly what I'm also trying to do is try and reduce judgment and even try to reduce opinion, because often an opinion is one-sided. We can come to an opinion only with one side. But a judgment has to take into consideration both sides. That's why we need a judge who hears both sides and then makes the judgment. Whereas an opinion, each of us can have an opinion. You may have an opinion that it's a good day. I may have an opinion it's a bad day. Who's to say? It's just our personal feelings. It's our personal temporary feelings, because we keep changing our opinion as well. So I don't even want to say it's permanent. But as in a judgment, we need a fair and balanced view of either side to make that. And very often we are not in that position because we are compromised. We are often taking side. We often have a side. So that's why we should not be the judge of people. We should allow the judge to do it or the divine to do it. That's what we say in our mythology, in our tradition, our Sanatana Dharma. Judgment is only reserved for the judge or the divine, not you and I. So another question has come, although in private message, according to Sri Krishnamacharya, does diet have a great effect on Maitri Bhavana? Well, certainly, when we are eating food that is friendly to our system, healthy to our system, then of course it will have an effect. How the plant or the animal has been treated will matter on the way we behave. But more importantly, whether we are blessing the food before we eating or not, that will have an effect. And also what can have the effect is who we are eating with, in what mood we are eating with. If we are having an argument with somebody while we consume the food, then it creates a problem. Whereas if we are in a very friendly environment, a safe environment, we eat the food, then the food will be digested better, we'll have a more friendly attitude. And certainly, how the food is treated, how the plant or the animals are treated. I mean, there are some horrible practices we do, like, for example, in certain cultures, they are stuffing the duck with something so that it becomes sick and then that is cooked. That certainly will not create Maitri Bhava. And in certain cultures, they are beating a dog to death so that it's dying with fear. And then they are cooking that meat to eat, because that fear in the dogs changes the hormones and apparently changes the taste. Now, that certainly will not create Maitri Bhavana when you eat that. So, of course, there will be influences like that. So we have to eat healthy food that is sourced in appropriate ways, and also eat in healthy company. Otherwise, it will certainly have other effects on this as well. Yeah. So that's the answer to that second question. Thank you for sending that. Yes, of course, lack of food or inappropriate eating the food. Yeah. So another question has come as a private message. Again, everybody is sending it privately. When someone is being a fake friend, why is it that we can tell straight away they are being disingenuous and they act in the right way and make the right facial expressions, but you can feel it? Now, this is because of the word sauhardam. When your heart is open, you can feel the other person's heart. So you will know whether it's coming from their heart or not. Whereas if you also close your heart, you will not feel that. You will just be like believing in their lies. Whereas when your heart is open, you can feel whether they are responding in from their heart or not. And heart here is not emotion. It's much more deeper than this. It's something much more profound and valuable place. It's a deeper feeling where the divine is. So I think this is why um, it's you can feel it straight away. That feeling will never be a lie. That will never be a lie. Trust your intuition. Yeah. If something is off, it's maybe there's a reason why you feel that. No, it could be from them or it could be from you, but you have to trust that feeling. Somebody's asked if fasting can for a day can help. Again, I don't want to convert this into a topic on food. That could be a separate topic, but certainly some amount of fasting, uh, especially if it's a healthy fasting, can be very helpful because fasting also should take into consideration other activities connected with that. What you do on the day of fasting, which days you're fasting, how often are you fasting, all those kind of things. So it's a separate topic, but it, of course, fasting is an essential uh, uh, part of our discipline as well, and it's definitely something we should do it. Yeah, so from time to time, under guidance, of course. Constitution also plays a big factor in how frequently we have to fast and what kind of fasting we have to do. It's a very important topic as well. Very good, very good. So this is the first topic about MAITRÍ, and I'm so glad to see you all, friends, to be here. We will have our second topic of Karuna in February. I will once again inform it through our WhatsApp groups when the date will be. So thank you all for being here. And I will do a small chant that is not necessarily about friendliness, but it certainly includes a friend. Om शन्नो मित्र शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्माम् अवतो तद्भक्तारमवतो अवतो माम् अवतो भक्तारम् ॐ शान्त शान्त शान्तिः Namaste, friends.